Hey guys, it's the Jake Malloy here for a product review. Today I'm reviewing the Sony Dream Machine, and now you may see these products a lot in Apple stores as they are available for viewing in all of them for iPod docking. And of course you can see here I have my dock for the iPod Touch already installed. And as you may have tested them out in the Apple Store, and you may, because they are expensive, be wary of buying them for yourself. So I thought I would take the time to give you a very, very detailed review of the Sony Dream Machine. So if you're thinking about buying one of these for yourself, this should answer all your questions, as I have definitely formulated it to definitely cover all aspects here of the Dream Machine, including all these buttons on top, the interface, the display, sound quality, the reception from the antenna, etc. will all be covered during this video. So thank you for watching, and I do hope you enjoy the video. So here is my review of the Sony Dream Machine. Now yes, a technical term for this iPod dock radio, although it is the Dream Machine brand by Sony, it is the Sony ICF-C1IP MK2 speaker system and clock radio with iPod dock, black version. Now this also comes in a white version, so don't be afraid to check that out, but however, the black version is the only one on display in the Apple Store. So upon first glimpse of this, you see the display down here. Now of course, upon first glance, you see the 8:46 here. That's the time I'm filming this. It also lets you know your alarm status. I have my alarm set for 7:35 a.m. and you can also see other information, such as when I turn the radio on, you will see the name of the station playing here, and if you have any audio filters going, such as Mega Expand, that is also on display here. Now, of course, this is an iPod dock, so we should of course cover the iPod section. Now, use your iPod, any iPod. Here I have my iPod Touch, it's going into the base station here. Now this station, I have used the iPod Touch docking adapter, because of course it can't fit on here without it, it will possibly break, so always use adapters. Of course, you plug this in. Now you get charging. This does charge automatically when plugged into the Sony Dream Machine, and of course that's a great feature, but of course that's normal on all of these. Now when you plug it in, you'll see iPod appears here, which lets you know your iPod is now in control. And you can of course slide to unlock, open up your music, and find a song to play. Now, when navigating around, of course, you can use your normal controls here on your iPod, or you can also use the included remote control. Now, the remote control comes in handy for this kind of thing because it allows you to navigate when further away from the machine. So here, I will navigate down. I'll hit enter. I'll hit enter again, and it will play. Now, of course, we can't play the whole thing because of copyright issues on here, but at least 30 seconds should do you okay. Now, you should notice, first off, when looking at the iPod menu, that the iPod, there's no audio hooked up, so this is not available here to see your audio bar. So you have to adjust audio from up top here on the volume control button. The volume control button is located on the top right of the radio. Now, you can see it right here, and it has volume up and volume down. Pretty simple. Now, to make the volume go up, of course, play your music. And tap the up button, or play your music and tap the down button. Now, volume on this Dream Machine goes up to only a certain level, which is volume level of 20. Now, 20 volume level is pretty loud, and because the speakers are good, and I'll get to that again later, you will definitely hear everything with no problem.
Let me go. This hurts, I tell you so.
The thing with this radio, though, it is one of those nitpicky radios when having a low volume often shrouds out all sound at all. This is volume 1, and all of a sudden, it takes a while to get up to sound, so volume 1 really gets no sound whatsoever, but it's still there and it's still an option. In order to manually play your iPod from the radio itself without the remote control or the use of the iPod, you need to use the wheel here. Now, because when you first plug it in, the iPod will turn on, so you won't need to hit this, but if you're using radio or something else, and you need to navigate back to your iPod, hit the iPod play pause button. and that will give you your iPod. To shuffle forward and backwards with songs, use the tuning button. Now, the sound quality on this product is almost perfect. High bass or low treble sounds do get drowned out a little bit by vibrations and static sounding coming from the speakers. However, the speakers with midtones work just fine, and on the higher or lower spectrum of tones, it still sounds great. So sound-wise, it still gets an A. Alright now, iPod aside, this radio still has a lot to offer. Now, of course, it is a full AM/FM tuner radio with all the capabilities you'd imagine in a normal radio. However, there are some complications. To turn on your radio, hit the radio on button on the top of the wheel. This radio, however, has something different than an iPod. That is tuning. Tuning radio stations on this radio is extremely annoying and very, very hard to accomplish. Just for a little insight on the difficulty of tuning this radio, normally tuning with an analog radio works very easy because it's a dial and you can tune fast and get where you want to easily. However, this one is not the case. Hitting radio on and wanting to change the channel is nothing less than a very difficult process, and it's strenuous and it'll take you a long time. Of course, like the iPod, use the tuning keys back and forth to change channels. Now, changing channels takes forever though because it only goes up by 0.1 every time. So if I go hit up, it is now 97.9, now it's 98, now it's 98.1, now it's 98.2, now it's 98.3, now it's 98.4, and there's no other way to do it faster. So, of course, changing radio stations entails lots of fast clicking and very slow movement, which doesn't get you where you want to very fast. So I want to get to 107.9, for instance. I can't get there without going for a long time. And if I'm down in the 80s on the FM spectrum, it's going to take me a long time to get there. And I'm going to be very frustrated by the time I get there myself. Luckily, this radio, like many others, has some options for preset tuning. Now, I only listen to a few radio stations, so only having 5 different radio stations is not a problem for me. But however, if you have a wider range of music interests, then maybe 5 won't be enough. But you have 5 tuning keys right here on the front for you to choose from. Now, all you need to do is tune to a radio station, hold down the tuning key, and presto, you're set. So when you turn the radio on, navigate to where you want to go, hit 1, you're on a station, hit 2, you're on a station, hit 3, you're on a station, and so far, and you can choose which stations are preset for yourself. Now, like a lot of other radios have sound enhancing elements, and of course this one has something called Mega Expand. Now Mega Expand expands the sound quality of the music coming out of the radio, whether that's over the radio or from an iPod, and you know, it works good. Sometimes when some records are created, the voices of the singers are somewhat muffled. Mega Expand really brings out the singers and the vocals of music. Therefore, it's a great element to have on the Dream Machine. Now, of course, this radio is a fully functional clock as well, and has many useful clock tools such as alarms. This radio has 2 alarm presets, which is great in case you have to wake up on some days for work on one time and on different times for other days. You can set your alarm for A or B each night before you go to bed. And of course, selecting your alarm and setting the time is as easy as using these buttons on this dial right here. Setting your clock is also easy up here, and when your alarm is going off, it's easy to put to sleep by hitting the sleep button here or the snooze or brightness button right there to turn down the brightness of your screen during the night or snooze your alarm in the morning. Just to add to all these features, the design of the radio works out very well. The designers of the radio did a great job making it look elegant, modern, and chic. On a technical aspect, this radio also has an audio in option, which is really useful for connecting other elements to your radio. How much for an iPod radio with all these features, you may ask? If you're looking into getting it, I say it's worth it. It's $99.95 from Apple, which is one of the cheapest ones you can find. Therefore, I'm giving a Sony ICF-C1IP dock with clock for iPod or iPhone a 4.5 out of 5. Guys, thanks for watching this review of the Sony ICF-C1IP dock with clock for iPod or iPhone radio. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please comment, rate, and of course, the number one thing I want from you is, of course, a subscription. Thank you for watching again. I'll see you next time. Bye.